What's good, everybody? Welcome to Life on Beagle Road. Today, I've got a special treat for you. We've got some axes, and we're gonna be building an axe throwing target. Stay tuned. That's right, folks. Today, we are going to build an axe throwing target. A long time ago, we were in California, and we had gone to one of those axe throwing places. And since then, they have pretty much taken off all over the country. It's a fantastic activity, if you ask me, and I just happen to be fairly decent at it. So why not have one at home? I am gonna be cutting up some of the wood here in order to get it home. I actually had it cut at Home Depot. It was one of the things that I was gonna suggest to all of you, that if you don't have your own saws or whatever, you can actually have them cut it up to size. I will say this, if they do cut it up, they're not gonna be square boards, and they're probably not gonna be to the exact dimensions that you need them. Actually, I can guarantee you they will not be the correct dimensions. However, if you don't have your own tools, it's a fantastic way to get it done. Since I did have some of these cut up and they aren't necessarily to the right size, I'm gonna cut them to the right size, square them up, so that way everything will go together just a tad easier. Courtney ran out. She went to get 2 more boards because I realized that what I wanted to do, I was probably a board or 2 short. Go figure, Kenny math. But while she's gone, I'm gonna get started cutting. First thing we need to do is cut the uprights. Now the uprights need to be about, I think, like 84, 85 inches. So we're gonna cut those to size and then keep kind of rolling through. So I'd gone to the Waddle website, the World Axe Throwing League website, and they have some plans on how to make this thing, only they're not right. They're actually terrible. I'm gonna be fudging this along the way because these are wrong, and I gotta make sure that this is built right. All right, Courtney is back. So she is going to be my shop helper today. We're gonna see how this goes. We've got some of the pieces laid out that are ready to go. As you can see over here, we've got our uprights, we've got our support pieces right here, and then these are the backboards, I guess. There's a couple ways to do this. Another way to do it would be, instead of putting these in, which are additional 2x10s, you would put in like a piece of plywood. This plywood would be secured to the support pieces, and then your targets would get screwed in to the plywood. We're gonna do it the way that the Waddle website says, minus their wacky dimensions that don't make any sense, and we're gonna do it my way. What?
Do you know what is my way of building things?
What's your way?
I gotta get a glass of wine first.
Of course. You know you're not allowed to use power tools and drink, right?
I mean, you're doing all the cutting.
I am doing all the cutting. Okay, folks. Let's start getting to it. Come on, let's go.
Well, I'm trying to make sure it's in the right spot, okay? Does that look like the right spot?
Sure, looks great. Now I gotta screw that chumpy in.
Are you gonna help, or are you just gonna stand there with the camera?
Yeah. No spaces like that.
That is how it is.
That's not how it is.
I put it in where you had it lined up.
No. Yeah, but honey, you gotta keep moving them towards it and flatten it. Do this one, then come back and screw that one back in. This one over here is fine. It's just so I
How
can...
am I supposed to do my job if you're
you can
taking
do,
my tools?
I'm just saying, let me get this one in and then you can keep going. That way I don't have to slow down. Squeeze it, man. Just squeeze it like you're angry.
Well, I don't want it to go too far and crack the wood.
It won't. Just squeeze like you're angry.
It will.
There you go.
See, I almost went too far.
Nope, it'll sink it right in. Cool, we've got the backer board in. Yep, not yet, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Now it's time to start working on the target. I need to lay the boards on top, make sure that they're gonna lay out nicely, and then we can screw them all in. Important thing about laying out your target pieces for your axes is that you wanna make sure that wherever the bullseye is, the center of the target, you don't have any knots, or at least as few knots as possible. The knots are actually pretty bad for the blades on your axe, and it's almost as if you were hitting like the concrete or, you know, the head of a screw. We don't want any of that. So we're gonna try to minimize the knots. There's probably gonna be a few little ones, but we don't want any of them big ones in our center area. Now, my wife's gonna be throwing this, and I don't think it matters where the knots are. She's gonna find them.
I mean, he's not wrong.
So this one's gonna go at the top, and it'll need trim. I'm gonna use a 2x6 here on the top and the bottom, and that kind of gives me closer to the actual regulation where the bullseye should be. I don't need it to be regulation. It's not like I'm gonna join the World Axe Throwing League anytime soon, but I at least wanted it to be close. So in order for these boards over here to fit, I'm gonna take about 1 inch off of each one. So they'll end up being like, I think they're 46 1/4, so they're gonna end up being like 45. All right, everything's cut to length and I'm ready to install. So we're gonna put these target boards in, and then we'll start working on the thing that holds the whole thing up, because this sucker is gonna be heavy and it's gonna need a good platform. All right, so I think I'm going to screw them in on the front face for now, but then I'm gonna flip it over and actually screw them in from the back face. So that way there aren't any screw heads facing where the axe is going to hit or possibly hit. I'm not gonna show that. I think you understand what that means, but I really love doing things twice. Okay, the face of the target is done, other than actually drawing a target on here, which I still have to do, and I will, but I just want to get at this sucker, right? Next step is to build the base, so let's get to it. Unnecessarily heavy. Well, and there we have the base pieces. I'm not quite sure where my extra set of hands went, so once again, clamps, folks. Get some clamps, especially if your wife decides to just, you know, disappear when she's helping you. What I'm gonna do here is lift this up to where it needs to be, and then use the clamps to hold it still or steady. Drill my holes, whatever it is I need, screw them in, yada, 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 and then we should be all set. I'm gonna screw these in, and then I'm gonna use these bolts in the bottom. I'm also gonna put bolts in the top. That way, if ever I wanna just fold this down, I can. The screw is just to hold it in place. You know, like the clamps. I'll take it out then when I'm done. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, but first I gotta look to see if I can find some extra carriage bolts because I realized I need 2 more. Great news, I found some. They're a bit long, but they'll work for now until I can get some better ones. Again, work with what you got and get her done. All right, part 1 of carrying everything out. Should go well. Unnecessarily heavy design. Hand cart.
You go get the hand cart.
I'll get. A lot heavier. No, that was exactly as heavy as I thought it was. You always want to spray it down before you throw it. You gotta get the fibers saturate a little bit, and then it's all ready to be axed. Well, folks, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed today's video, today's project. It was a lot of fun to make, and certainly is going to be a ton of fun to play with. Got a few minor things to do, like draw the target on there, take out those front screws. We put the back ones in before we took it outside, but I am excited about this, and I hope that you all get excited and you build your own and you throw some axes, because what says homestead like an axe throwing party? Take care, folks. Have a great day.